For 7 years, I honored the only condition of our marriage contract: never open her chamber door. 7 years of strange sounds in the night. 7 years of servants disappearing. 7 years of my wife entering at dusk and emerging at dawn, perfect and poised and never quite human. Tonight, something changed. The screams were different, more desperate, more final. I stand now before her door, key trembling in my hand, the one she doesn't know I had made, the one that will unlock 7 years of secrets. Behind the wood, something scrapes against stone, something moves, something waits. God forgive me, I'm turning the key. She came with winter winds and strange demands. 1 chamber, her father negotiated. Private, sealed, hers alone. I agreed easily. What was 1 locked door in a castle full of rooms? Besides, she was beautiful, pale as moonlight, grace in every movement, voice like silk on steel. The wedding feast should have warned me. She didn't eat, didn't drink, just smiled that perfect smile that never reached her eyes. That first night, she chose the castle's oldest tower, had her own servants install new locks, heavy ones, ancient ones, the kind that keep things in, not out. "Never disturb me there," she said, touching my cheek with fingers too cold. "Promise me." I promised. God help me, I promised. The years passed strangely. Perfect wife by day, hosting feasts, managing servants, playing the noble lady. But at night, the sounds began in year 2. Scratching first, then whispers, then things that might have been screams. Servants started vanishing in year 4. Always the ones who worked near her chamber. Always without trace. Always explained away with her perfect smile. They found better positions, she'd say. They moved to other castles. They wanted to see the world, but their families never heard from them. Their belongings never left. Their rooms still held their secrets. Year 6 brought the smells. Sweet rot behind her door. Copper tang of something familiar. Incense burning constantly to hide worse things. Now it's year 7. The tower stones weep red in the rain. Her servants speak in tongues, and my wife hasn't aged a single day. The investigation began with a missing boy. Not a servant this time, a noble's son visiting our castle. Last seen near her tower, chasing a cat up the spiral stairs. She was perfectly helpful during the search, perfectly concerned, perfectly wrong. "Children wander," she said, pouring my wine. "They always turn up." But her hands shook slightly, first time in 7 years. I started watching closer, counting her chamber visits, tracking the moon phases that made her restless. Her private servants caught me looking. Old women with milk-white eyes, girls who moved too quickly in shadows, men whose footsteps left no sound. "My lord," they'd whisper, passing in halls. Some doors stay locked for reason, but I'd already seen too much. Blood on her slippers, hidden under skirts. Letters to strange merchants about supplies. Ancient books in languages that hurt my eyes. Maps of the castle's forgotten passages. One night I followed her, watched her enter her chamber at midnight, pressed my ear to the door. Children's voices sang behind wood, but wrong somehow. Backwards maybe, or in tongues no child should know. "Husband?" I jumped. She stood behind me, but I'd just seen her enter. "Lost?" Her smile stretched too wide. I thought I heard, "Nothing important." Cold fingers on my arm. "Come to bed." I went, but later heard her chamber door open twice more. The next day, I questioned her oldest servant, found her hanging in the wine cellar that evening. Tongue black and swollen, eyes fixed on something I couldn't see. My wife wore black in mourning. "Such tragedy," she sighed. But her eyes, God, her eyes looked hungry. I hired investigators, they disappeared. Sent messages to her family castle. They returned unopened, asked priests to bless the tower. They fell ill, went mad. died babbling. 7 years of perfect horror, finally unraveling. The final strand broke yesterday. I found a journal hidden in the dead servant's room. Pages of madness and truth. She brings them in threes. The chamber grows larger inside. Songs that eat sound. Children's bones for her bread. 7 years until the gate. Tonight marks the 7th anniversary of our wedding. The 7th year of her secret chamber. The 7th turn of whatever key wins her perfect mask. I hear chanting through her door now. Smell sweetness and copper. Feel heat that shouldn't exist in stone. My wife just passed me in the hall, heading to her chamber. Then past me again and again. 3 of her, all wearing that same smile. All wrong in morning light. The key burns in my pocket. The door waits in darkness. And 7 years of secrets are ready to birth their horror. The chamber door opened on darkness and sweet rot. Moonlight caught movement. Too many shapes, too fluid for human. Walls breathed. Floor pulsed. Ceiling wept something thicker than water. 7 years, her voice came from everywhere. 7 years of perfect patience. She stood by a window that shouldn't exist. My wife, perfect and terrible. Behind her, shadows wore the faces of missing servants, missing children, missing pieces of reality. You couldn't just keep your promise, she sighed. Men never can. What are you? A good wife? Her smile split too wide. Everything our contract promised. The door slammed behind me. Locks turned themselves. 7 years, she continued, to birth a proper gate. 7 years of feeding it properly. 7 years of keeping my dear husband blind. Now I saw the truth. The chamber wasn't a room. It was a mouth, a womb, a door to somewhere else. The servants? Needed. She gestured at the writhing walls. Growing gods requires sacrifice. Something moved in shadow, her but wrong. Another her emerged from darkness, wrong in different ways. A third formed from air, wrongest of all. 3 of me, they spoke together. Trinity of bride, beast, and beginning. The marriage contract was very specific. They laughed. 1 chamber, 7 years. A husband who wouldn't look too closely. The floor rippled beneath my feet. Hands reached up through stone. Voices sang in tongues that tasted like screams. Tonight, they circled me. The gate opens fully. Tonight, what's been growing here wakes up. Tonight, I break the contract. I drew my sword. Silver caught moonlight. Blessed blade met cursed flesh. For one moment she looked surprised. Then she laughed. Oh, my love. Her wound closed like water. Did you think I wouldn't plan for that? The sword melted. The room contracted. Reality bent. 7 years of marriage, all 3 of her reached for me. And you never once wondered why I chose you? This castle? This exact chamber? Understanding came too late. I wasn't here to stop her. I was the final sacrifice. The last key. The 7th seal. Now then, husband. Her kiss tasted like oblivion. Let's consummate our true marriage. The chamber swallowed us both, and something ancient finally woke up. They say my castle stands empty now. Villagers whisper about lights in the tower, about shadows wearing familiar faces, about a lady in white who walks the walls in triplicate. Sometimes, on dark nights, I see through the chamber's eyes, see what my wife's perfect plan birthed. See what 7 years of secrets became. The gate opens wider each day. Reality thins like old paper. And she, they, it grows stronger. Servants still disappear, but differently now. They walk willingly into her chamber, drawn by songs that taste like memory, led by promises that smell like dreams. My wife still plays perfect lady, still hosts feasts in hollow halls, still smiles that wrong smile. But now everyone sees her triple shadow. Now everyone knows why. They come anyway. Curious nobles, power-hungry lords, desperate seekers, all thinking they can handle her secrets, all feeding her purpose. I watch from walls, from shadows, from spaces between spaces. No longer quite human, no longer quite real. The final sacrifice that keeps her gate breathing. Sometimes in what might be dreams, she visits me, all three of her, all wrong and right and perfect still. Sweet husband, they whisper with mouths that aren't mouths. You did exactly what you were meant to do. And I understand now. 7 years wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Just the first breath of something older than time. The chamber grows. The castle feeds, and my wife, my wives, my perfect horror, they keep playing their parts. New lords come seeking marriage alliances. New contracts get signed. New chambers get sealed. 7 years at a time. 7 secrets at a time. 7 sacrifices to feed what's growing. So let them whisper about empty castles. Let them wonder about missing nobles. Let them fear the lady in white. Some doors stay locked for reasons. Some wives keep darker secrets than others. Some marriages last longer than forever. And sometimes 7 years of patience opens doors that never close again.